Greetings, listeners and viewers. Your host for the night, Zach, here, introducing you to Spacers Redux, a sci-fi podcast by Twisted Gears Studios. If you are a fan and wish to support, visit our merch shop and Ko-fi page, where members get extra content, fireside chats, discounts on merch, and more. Otherwise, a like, comment, sub, or review in your podcast app of choice is always helpful. As well, we're starting up some new stuff over on YouTube soon, so subscribe to our Ko-fi to be the first to be informed when we have new things up and going. We even have another dice raffle. For each month, subscribers are in the Creative Collaborator tier and up, your name goes into a hat that we will pull a winner from at the end of this arc for the dice that I'm using to mess with the players. That'll be at the end of the dungeon that they are currently entering. But for now...
Last of the crew, they reached the poisoned planet not long after their initial engagement with the Matriarch. The welcome mat has been laid out for our spacers. They plan their infiltration and what to do once inside the station.
Last we were here, I believe Greg had asked a question, very important question about can she affect other beings and join them into the hive, and it was followed by a very quiet yes and a what? Do you have a follow-up question there, Greg?
Just a follow-up thought.
And you hear another pebble drop into the tin can?
Well, I mean, if you were gonna do that, I mean, who would you target for that sort of thing?
Definitely not the people with the tinfoil hats.
Well, I mean, if you... I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
We should have some kind of code or phrase in the event that we are not of mind of our own control, so that we can utilize that.
But if she can read your mind, she can know what the code is.
I was just gonna say you should get her to admit that she probably wants the Vril for that. Because then you got a whole army of giant lizard people who are good with guns and stuff.
As Flinch sort of takes off his tinfoil hat and trying to jump and put it on Laurel's head.
Laurel doesn't notice.
And then just puts it back on his head. Oh, yeah, but that's Cliptic 2's problem. Cliptic 2 can handle that.
Oh, but technically, she would only need the one. She'd only need Jovac. Right? I mean, if he was leading the Vril.
That might be her plan. So, like, if you can find evidence that she's gonna do that,
should get her to do like one of those, like one of those long, like
monologue.
Yeah, like a boring monologue.
We're used to those.
Big people like to do those.
Whoa, let's touch on something for a second. Maybe without Jovac really realizing that the Matriarch has affected his mind process. Maybe that's what she's getting out of it.
That's messed up.
Oh, he's well too informed for a lot of things, being able to do stuff, but maybe just some slight, mental alteration on the Matriarch's part. I mean, it's nothing to help us now, but I mean, it could.
I have a question for you. Can she do that on a permanent level? Because I escaped, and it didn't remain with me, the control. And she could have had me under control.
Unless Jovac likes it.
Without even making a roll, you have a background historical knowledge of this person and this power you're talking about. In her presence, her control over minds is palpable, is just undeniable. But she is not a god.
Yeah, okay.
And a level of what helped is the fact that you put distance between you and her. Distance far beyond what these drones you just flew by were. And then kind of grew as your own person, grew your own identity afterwards, right? So there is obviously a limit of range. It's not permanent that you have seen. But if she were to stick around, she could, and if she had gotten in through the front door, so to speak, doesn't need to ever leave.
I guess my question is where we've seen Jovac in other places, if she had a control on him, would that control remain from the distance we've seen him far away from her? I'm trying to confirm if she has altered his mind permanently or if this is also something he wants as well.
Without taking too much time and going into like a DM monologue here.
Yeah.
And a neurological effect can take many different forms.
Okay.
And you're also talking about different times, different versions, different variants, right? It could be an inception sort of thing. It is possible, and you have been tasked with, and you have done this yourself in your past. Do things where you leave a little seedling of an idea, and unless that individual is smart enough to be aware of it, will act upon that seedling until that reality is broken or brought to their attention. Okay. Your mentor being one such.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It's in those cases, it's nigh impossible to tell unless you go looking for it.
Right.
Just by looking at Jovac, you couldn't tell. Could she do it through all of time and space? There's no, unless she's already achieved some kind of godhood. There's nothing. If that were possible, you would already be under her control. You wouldn't have gotten away.
I don't know.
So that's hard to say. In every instance where he is near her, you also don't know. It's possible.
Yeah.
But also, she's just a powerful ally.
Well,
Ally?
No, I think her name's Matriarch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But also, I mean, wasn't it like an old Jovac that went to a young Jovac and talked him into this?
Yeah.
So it could have been the old Jovac is the one that's under control, and that he traveled to the young Jovac, who is not under control, and just convinced him to take this path so that future Jovac could be under control, without knowing that he's actually under control.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but that actually makes sense to me.
You see a little bit of smoke coming off the tinfoil hat.
But here's the thing. This is the best thing about it. It doesn't need to be true. It just means maybe at a moment where we need to distract Jovac for a second, we can put that seed into his mind that something he's done was influenced by the matriarch, which means he's not fully of his own mind, and he doesn't seem to be the type of person who would be able to just deal with that idea.
Oh, no.
Oh no, he's definitely overcompensating.
Yeah.
He's not secure like some of us.
No, of course not, as I tighten up my seat.
Super secure. Zip.
But anyway, it's besides the point. I mean, we gotta go in and, mess some stuff up in there.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, did you find somewhere for us to land?
Oh, beep, beep, beep.
You got
Flinch makes that noise.
You got about 30 seconds before I just decide to do something.
Oh, God.
29.
Now, again, you don't know the inner layout. It's up to you. You could tell me how do you want to go about this. There's been talks about splitting the group.
Yes.
There's the landing pads up top. There is the large hangar bays on the bottom. One primary one and a series of sub bays. The underslung one is primarily like one big, massive underslung hangar bay. A couple of the little underslung hangar bays seem to be like dorsal ports, if anything, but like large, where like drones seem to attach and fly off. There are a series of ventral ports kind of go off to the side that you can probably dock sideways onto to get into ducts and into some of the infrastructural means of the station. Tons of options. Again, you don't know what's inside any of these doors. So you tell me, how do you want to divvy yourselves up? Okay. And in what order?
28 seconds.
Yeah, well,
It's very long.
it's been like 3 minutes.
29.
I believe we're at 29 and a half.
Where are we landing?
Well, where do you want to go, Cliptic?
39.
What? I mean,
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the spire looks more likely where she is.
57.
What?
okay.
Greg doesn't know how to count.
That's
So, how are we going to want to do this? Because obviously, if you drop us off, they know the ship is somewhere else. So they're going to be on guard. Is it something where we drop you guys off and we land the ship?
We land and both get off in different directions.
well. The thing is, I wouldn't trust either of you to land the ship.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Do you have any piloting at all?
No.
17.
I say We drop you off maybe not right up next to the spire because it seems to be a real hub of activity, but near it. And, yeah, so maybe with our little invisibility thing, or our cloaking, whatever it is, we uncloak to drop you off because you want them to know where you are, right?
I can always just send it telepathically as well.
Well, and she could do the same to you and sort of get a pinpoint, but then we kick in our cloak and we go somewhere else and get dropped off and start messing stuff up.
3.
Ugh.
But I mean, we don't know anything about this station, so obviously it doesn't matter where we dock.
Okay.
Because we don't know where anything is.
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
27.
7. Yeah.
Okay.
That is so. If you want to go near the main top disc, and we'll go somewhere in the middle, maybe an engineering section of somewhat where it connects. For no obvious reason.
All right. So step 1, there is some kind of dropping off of Cliptic and Laurel. Am I understanding that correctly? Mm-hmm. Anything that I need to know about that process as you're doing that? You're going to the top disc and dropping them off?
Yep.
Step 1, drop off. Step 2,
So what we're going to do...
matriarch death.
I know I've only very recently asked you
really
for your initiative.
Open-ended.
Calvin Ball, yeah, for sure.
Figure it out. I know I've only recently asked for your guys' initiative, but I'm going to ask you to roll it again because I need to figure out something. So yeah, just roll it again, and this will determine our now that we're splitting the party.
As I turned it around
Right
with the mouth.
before we dock, before we get off, I'm going to spend a plot point to say that I have just a small a handgun, and I'm going to hand it to Clipdick and say, I know you don't...
I already have a
Usually-
pistol.
Oh, well, here's another one. I thought this would be important. I know you use your brain, and I know you use your magic mostly, but if there's a lot of magic flying around, I think you should have... I don't know, I got this, and I'm pointing at the machine gun that's strapped to my back.
Yeah.
And I got this, and I'm holding my warhammer, and I'm holding it like closely.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure you're okay, because I get it. This is scary.
Go ahead.
This is scary for you in particular. And this makes me feel better.
Does that mean I have another D6 pistol then on me?
Yeah.
Sick. Okay.
The more
Just
guns,
for
the safer we
it only lasts for this encounter, but
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's fine.
A second hidden gun is always a good idea. Just don't hide it in your...
And you hear some rustling from the tinfoil hat as it moves around, and then all of a sudden,
Because that's the way you get an infection.
I would like to add a thing to this. You already have a pistol.
Yes.
In the heart as it is intended. What I'd like to add to this pistol is what it's going to do is it's going to give, for as long as you have this, obviously at the end of this, the pistol has to go away, right, as per the rules of assets. Your current pistol is going to have linked 1. What that means is every time you use your pistol, you use it twice. So basically, you like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. Did you do anything to the pistol to differentiate? Like, did you put like a sticker with a heart on it or something?
no, but it's just like it's surprisingly well cared for, considering it's too small for Laurel's hand.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cool.
Fair enough.
if it has
There you go.
stickers of a monkey getting punched.
Yeah. To respect the intention as it was intended, you don't really have a D6 pistol. Your current pistol has a D6 linked as effects. So you roll 2d6.
Sounds cool. So 2d6 is what I would roll.
Yeah.
2d6. I'm also going to say I have my knife on me. Obviously. Keeping the trend from the other game. Not really, but sure. Have a knife.
Is it a murder knife?
It's not a murder.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I know, well, murder. I haven't done murder yet.
Not yet.
It might.
Yes. Be optimistic.
Cliptic doesn't have a murder knife. He has a murder brain.
I'm assuming we just have her.
But just in case
Yeah.
his backup, he also has a murder knife.
So Laurel, Cliptic, you guys go down into the cargo area to be dropped off on the top disc.
Yes, that was the plan.
Well, I'm assuming that it's like a docking station. We're not going to be outside the ship, but we go.
You will,
like
but you guys do feel the penetration of a barrier as you got to get to the landing bay, and gravity does feel when you are in immediate proximity of the station. Greg, as a pilot, you feel a clear relief of pressure.
Oh.
When you are within like a like basically an almost in contact range of the station. Gravity does not have an effect on the ship. The complication disappears. That would include within the drop bay or up top of the dish while you're within the premise of the dish and the spire at the top. There's like an umbrella that kind of covers this area. So as soon as you pierce that veil, the pressure is relieved, the complication is temporarily removed while you're within this area. You touch down. You're still invisible. Yeah. You guys. Anything you want to do or say, or you just opening the door?
Surprisingly smooth. I mean,
Fuck shit up, guys.
As soon as we land, though, I want to not necessarily send a massive one, but just something enough that she knows where I am. So that as soon as they take off, it's focused on me.
I like this. This is fun. What do you think that roll would be? And then roll that for me.
Okay, that's going to be intelligence, concentration, telekinetic. Can I say it's part of the plan? Because we made up the plan? Okay, perfect.
Well, we haven't... Would you... I assume you'd like to roll for a plan there, Diantha.
I don't have to roll for anything. I just say it. Anyway, yeah.
Let's roll for a plan.
Here's your new plan. Keep her busy.
Okay, cool.
And then can I kill her? Like, when Cliptic tells me to.
If
can I kill her?
that's how keeping her busy evolves in a safe way,
Yeah. What? How do you...
way.
Sure.
in a way where 1,000 bugs aren't going to immediately descend upon you.
I could probably kill them too.
1,000 bugs.
I mean,
They're just bugs. They're like
Thousand,
this big.
a thousand really big,
Spaceship.
But like,
intelligent.
assuming I won't immediately get smushed, can I kill her? Yes. If Cliptic tells me to.
No, just do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Roll it. Not
I
you.
don't think I have to
Dear.
roll anything. I think I just.
You do, just so we can get the effect die for it. So, you're...
All characters gain a D8 to add to their.
Oh, it's just a talent.
Yeah,
Just
that's what we have written
Give
down.
a D8. Cool. Take a D8. You guys have a plan.
I can only do that once, so that means that we don't have a plan. I think it only applies to them.
Well, there's just 2 of them and 3 of us, so oh no, we're screwed.
But 2 of them going up against Matriarch intentionally, and 3 of you trying to avoid her. So
We may show up.
Yeah, I guess, the plan is you keep her busy, we'll
Deal with other stuff.
deal
I'm
with
gonna, you know what? I'm gonna make a roll, and when I as I'm going, I go fuck shit up. I'm gonna call that I'm gonna call that a rallying roar because I'm big and tough and
that works. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
She's gonna give you an inspiring roar before she leaves.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Heck yeah. You just
Roll
got
the you might get an extra die.
Can I use YOLO?
Yes.
Yes. Alright. It's gonna take
You
me
were
a second.
I love, can I use YOLO?
Yeah.
If you gotta ask, you can't.
Well,
No, I'm just joking.
I want to say the sheer nature of the talent
This is
says
an area
that, yeah.
of effect because I'm using it on 3 people. That's a 1, and that's a 1.
oh my
But
god.
otherwise,
Roll my
it
fair share, I get
it
multiple
is a 10, and I have as many effect die as characters I'm affecting, so 2 d6s and a d4 for the effect die.
Who gets the 6s? Who gets the 4?
Well,
anybody.
You guys are gonna be better at making a mess of things, so you take the D6s. I'll take the D4.
Well, you don't have to take a D4. Some D4s are not great. That means a 25% chance of a 1.
Okay, well, you guys take the D6s. I'll hang back. I'll supervise.
You don't have to give that out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll supervise.
All right. So Greg and Flinch get the D6s from the rallying roar as Laurel's on her way out the door.
Just got this!
With the plan, the rallying roar in place, Cliptic, can you please roll for me whatever you think you're doing to draw a psychic attention to yourself and away from your friends?
So I did actually roll it.
Yeah.
And what I got was a 13d8.
You don't know what the effect of this is.
Okay.
But as you make that kind of telekinetic, mostly because, I mean, I can tell you what the numbers are, but at the end of the day, how would you know
Right.
if it worked or not? And as you and Laurel step off of the invisible ship, And you can hear, now that you're on the... So as soon as you step outside of the ship, while the barrier is there to prevent gravity from impacting, it does not prevent the storm. The second you step out of the hull of the ship, you are buffeted by a giant windstorm.
I grab Cliptic by the scruff.
Yeah, it's not threatening to blow either of you guys off of the station anyway. It could, but that's not the point of this. And then you can very, very, very faintly hear the ship lifting, closing the door, taking off in the distance, and barreling down beneath the top deck. And Cliptic, while you're having a hard time concentrating, it's loud, it's abrasive. Okay. The door in front of you, the base of the spire, opens.
Okay.
You're nowhere near it, but it opens. You get the sense that at least she knows where you are.
Okay.
And something about that makes you think that maybe she is not doing the same for the ship.
Okay. All right.
That's how I'll define that.
Okay.
Okay. We're now going to stick to initiative order, so we're bouncing back and forth between the two groups. Fortunately, the two groups did roll pretty close initiatives, so we will start with Laurel and Cliptic. You were on the deck. What will you do?
I guess head towards the door. Yeah.
Okay. You step on in, you kind of rush to get through the clouds. It's buffeting across, lots of dust is kind of being scattered across the entire deck. You can see why it's all flat up here. Mm-hmm. No bins, no bare, no anything up here. And as you kind of step on into the main spire itself, the door does boom, close behind you. But a little bit weird, as it does, you do sense that a lock happens in the door behind you. In the sense that the mechanical door slams shut, and then an organic iris then seals up around it on the inside.
Nasty.
Inside this chamber, whereas outside it was very bright, the clouds bounced illumination off of the sun of this system's star. In this chamber, it is very dim. It actually takes a little bit of time for your eyes to adjust. The light seems to be emanating from two different sources throughout the station as you travel around. There are what seem to be running lights, the top corners, or at least there once was. Whatever's grown over top of them seem to cast an orange halo over them as the light tries to punch through this ever-growing mass. But what creates the most amount of light beyond that are organic bulbs. Think of it as like pus that has been formed across some kind of glowing bioluminescence. And these bulbs seem to have been post-haste, like afterwards, added into the wall to add light, where whatever this is seems to be enveloping the mechanic. And as you come on in, it kind of brightens up in intensity at the reaction of your presence. This doesn't seem to be someone doing this. This seems to be an organic reaction to something coming close to these lights. The running lights don't seem to be changing at all, except for a few of them flickering periodically as they don't seem to be well maintained underneath this organic mass. When you're inside this room, you start off in a little hallway, and it does open up into a chamber later on. As you keep on going through, you are inside what used to be probably some kind of a radio tower. Maybe this was indeed some kind of a fly tower to guide ships and vessels towards a large landing bay, like a very similar to a aircraft carrier. And with that, I'm going to need both of you to make some kind of perception check, please. The difficulty is going to be... So the d6 here. Difficulty is 11d6.
I am going to choose to fail.
Okay. You get a plot point.
Still keep summon.
Yep.
2 ones.
Oh no!
I have 3 dice. So what does that mean?
What's the one die left?
The one die is a D8.
Well, what's the number on it?
6.
6? So it's a 64.
Yay!
Okay. Great. So you both enter this room. It appears empty.
Cool. Piers, all right.
Structurally, it looks like there are 5 other doors that could lead to other ways out of this spire, similar to the one you just came on in.
Yep.
But at the center, there seems to be past a series of conduits and what may have been consoles that will get to around your waist level if there were chairs.
Okay.
There does seem to be some kind of a lift in the middle that, looks like it's there. And there is a command console on it.
I'm following your lead, dude.
Probably go to the lift.
It makes as much sense as anything. You said she likes to be up high, keeping in control of things.
She's very commanding.
Okay.
Arrogant.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the lift is probably the best option.
Let's go.
Okay. As you get into the lift, so the interesting thing about the shape of this is that the height of this inner chamber is actually pretty tall. The lift doesn't, as you get onto it, you kind of see there really is only 2 buttons, up or down. Do you hit the up button?
Yep.
Doesn't do anything.
Crap.
I hit the up button.
The up button? Doesn't do anything.
Oh, weird.
Such a Laurel thing.
Like, give it a smack.
Give the up button a smack or the
console.
Roll!
Oh my god.
Roll
Say
for
something,
me.
I'm not there.
Wish there wasn't luck.
Just roll 2d4.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. Oh, for crying out loud.
Just humor me.
4.
That's enough. It's more than 3. Laurel, as you kind of smack the console, Cliptic, you watch as the machinery in the space seems to be very heavily impacted by the overgrowth of the organic tissue that's kind of covering the place. And when you do, the down button, it glows upon reaction, and the lift goes down.
Okay.
That's not right.
Who do you think you are, Fonzie?
I mean, I'm not there.
Back to, speaking of which, back to you 3. Diantha, Laurel, no, not Laurel or Cliptic. Diantha, Flinch, and Greg.
There you go.
Oh my goodness, everyone else blood. You 3 are still in the ship. What's your plan?
Yeah, so let's go to this area and point at where I feel that an engineering hub would be.
Okay.
Because, if we're looking for a map of the structure, engineering is where you're going to get it to.
Okay.
Right?
I guess the only thing I need to know is, are you going for a side cargo bay, a vent shaft, or an underslung bay?
Cargo bay, level 2.
My vote's vent shaft.
Listen, my skills only stretch so far, and I don't necessarily know if they would be. I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can. It'll be a little bit of a smaller entrance, but I mean, and as I'm looking at both of you, and then I only focus on Diantha. Maybe a cargo bay might be the best suit. I mean, let's be honest, me and Greg can, fit into some pretty tight places. But
Why did you do that?
I got a twitch, okay? I got a metallic eye here.
But isn't the vent thing like a ship-size vent? Not like a...
Well, that would be docking their vent and coming out into the ship. I don't think ship would fit into a vent. It's a pretty big vent.
What?
The vents are clearly airlock-sized. Not like full-size airlock, like. So on the top of your ship and on the side of your ship, there are like a ladder, like a little ladder tube that you can get up to get to the top of the ship before. That size.
Yeah,
so crawl space size.
So we'd be basically attached to the ship and then go in ourselves individually.
Yes.
That's okay. Yes.
Yes.
That's probably...
Well,
Yeah.
Diantha, what do you think?
For the first time you will ever hear this, and you will ever hear it again, I am following what you are going to do. If the goal here is to just make a big mess, that's on you.
I have an idea about that, by the way.
Oh my God, though. Just for 1 second, I was really worried that, you were going to say the tinfoil hats were stupid.
And also, it's just
On that note,
also, before
not there
Diana
yet.
turns to leave, Greg's going to take out the Polaroid camera and take a picture of this as a memento of the time Diantha said we were right.
I didn't say you were right, for the record.
I heard
I didn't say you were right.
To be fair, the picture's not saying anything, so I can say whatever I want.
I think I got a selfie stick around here somewhere.
Actually, I think Greg had a selfie stick.
Which is pretty much just a broken mop handle with like duct tape on the end.
You know.
Oh, okay. Well, let's pick out a random vent thing. Beep boop beep boop boop, and I make those noises. And I say that.
Warming it off the ship as a potential way of avoiding a mental lapse in regards to a psychic bug woman taking over a brain of ours. I have written a number on these papers. Do not look at it. If I ask you a question, look at it. Otherwise, don't look at it. Got it? Don't look at this. Until I tell you to.
Oh, okay.
If I ask you a question about a number, this is where the answer is.
Technically looking
It's
at it
not
while
in your
holding it.
It's not in your brain. So if something
Yeah, we'll try it for sure.
the answer is not in your brain, it'll be in your pocket. Does that make sense?
I mean,
My pocket's my brain.
I like how there is a contingency for her to figure it out, but not for them to figure out if she gets it.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You're not gonna control me.
No.
Don't look at it.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Unless I tell you to.
As he starts holding it to the... This is working. I can't sense this at all.
Exactly.
but I'm all, okay.
Wait,
Okay.
you can't read?
And I
but I'm
stuff it in the
looking
front
I'm not
pocket.
there.
I'm already looking.
No, but just put it away, Greg. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Greg can't read.
It's
Or
not
you can't. Did you learn how to read after?
What?
Oh, you can, because you can... You wrote a note.
What?
Where did you get paper?
It's like definitely like paper towel.
Yeah. Ooh.
The number looks
And
like
then the number smudged across.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's
In
fine.
which
I
case
put it in
I
the pocket.
shouldn't- I
That's a
shouldn't-
good idea.
Yeah, I'm not putting it in my pocket then. It needs to go somewhere else because it'll
Do you want me to hold on to your sheet too?
it'll dissolve.
But we need to be careful because we're Diantha, has the brains for this type of stuff. We should go in first. Well, I should go in first. Then you, because secondary, you're the pilot. I mean, come on. I'm most No, I'm not. Yeah, so me, Greg, and then you into the vent. And you'll take up the rear, and, if we get, hurt and stuff, you take off.
So you're gonna make Diantha crawl behind Greg.
Yeah.
For sure, like a mask. Like a cleaning.
it might
To
help.
be fair, when we go into the vent, we will be wearing self-enclosed suits. So
That's true.
you're assuming. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll
That'd
just,
be nice.
we'll just put on the little...
Okay, so you dock onto one of the vents. The marching order in the vent is Flinch, Greg, Diantha.
Before we do that, though, Greg has to go to his room to get some supplies.
Oh no.
Okay.
Greg shoves into his into a pouch or belter inside his suit, 3 pairs of his dirty underwear. Because he's been told they're a biohazard.
They are.
Because they are.
You have 3d6 bombs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and I
Consider
Greg-
it as one. We'll spend a plot point to do.
I don't even care if they do anything or not. I just like the fact that Greg would do this, and because he's had this idea since we found out those things were at least partially organic. Organic things can get sick.
This is true.
So and he's been told that his underwear are a biohazard.
Well, yeah.
If it bleeds, it doesn't like Greg.
But he was going to do that regardless of whether they are effective or not. He was going to take the underwear and use them in some way.
I'm going to run down to engineering, give Tim a hug,
Aww.
and tell him that
oh.
we're all goners.
Oh no.
Just take off.
Oh,
In the ship.
but I don't know how to fly.
Oh, it's different than what I...
Oh, I do know how to fly. Never mind. Okay.
No, you don't.
I don't know how to fly.
Greg lets Tim know.
I have a handwritten piloting guide. It's underneath the console.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm sure it'll be great instructions. I will go and take a look and make sure that I know what is going on.
Just keep working on that system strain. Don't even worry about it. As we're walking away, though,
Don't read that.
I'm like, look at you, and it's like, yeah, it's good to give him that false hope, huh?
No, I actually do have one. I mean, it's mostly pictures and swan origami, but still.
At some point during this escapade, the camera will cut back to the bridge at a very high-stress moment. You know what? We'll do it later. So you three depart. You head towards the dorsal vent shaft. You open up. It opens up, and you're all in contained suits.
I'm thinking that would be the best bet, just to make sure.
With the tinfoil hat over.
Oh, yeah, over the top, yeah.
Or inside.
When the...
Inside, sure. Inside, yeah. Yours would be on it.
So sweaty.
When the thing opens, you do see a noticeable intake of something having just come through the vent and into the shaft that you guys are in. But you're in suits, and you keep on. You slide your way into the main station, and I assume close the door behind you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cliptech, Laurel, you guys are going down the shaft there. So, what is it that you're? What's your goal here? What are you doing there, Cliptech?
At this point, my only goal is to try and be as distracting as possible to the matriarch so that she doesn't pinpoint where the other separate team is.
Do you want to try and find her?
Well, I'm assuming she would be leading me towards her. She wants to see me. Okay, yeah, I guess.
You maybe. Do you want to find her?
Yeah, I do, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
This isn't right.
roll me defense.
He used my armor for this too, right?
The
Because it has the ability. It's called
Yeah.
Absorption. If you succeed in a check to defend yourself against magic, convert your opponent's effect die into into an asset die.
Yeah.
In your next roll.
Yeah, part of your armor is that mystic cloth and stuff. It's all factors in. So yes, yeah, absolutely. Put that in there.
Okay.
100%.
I'm trying to think.
Willpower would be the characteristic you're going to use, for sure.
That's an 8. I'm fine on that one, for sure. Concentration, I guess, would be the other one, which would be D8. And then my armor's a D8. I think that's all I have.
Never.
Is there also the plan?
Oh, the plan, yeah.
You could use that for this, yeah.
Okay, that's what I got. So I have an 11 D8. Usually when you're smiling.
Now, I have to clarify something really quickly. You guys had a bit of a break before coming here. You flew here. All strain has been set to 0.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
But don't worry, because it's going to go right back.
I know.
I was about to say. I was like, yeah, that's wonderful.
Fantastic. You said 11? Cool. You take 4 points of strain.
Okay. That's not as bad as before.
However,
Oh, crap. Okay.
I did roll a 1.
Oh.
Would you like the headache to go down by 1?
Yes.
Something we've never had to deal with before. You have a complication of D4. The next time you roll the D4 complication in your check. I don't roll it in my check. And if no ones are rolled, the complication just flutters away.
Okay.
You don't have to roll anything else to get rid of this complication. Just don't roll a 1 on your next check, and it'll go away. If you roll a 1, it goes back to a 6, you keep the headache. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
That,
If I roll next, and I get a 1 before you do, you can just completely knock it off.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
That's usually how we've gotten rid of this. That's why we've never had to deal with it before. Usually 2 1s are rolled, and you just completely square it away, or a scene ends. But just so you're aware, that's actually how complications are supposed to go away. We just usually circumvent it. Okay.
Okay.
So you're trying to find it. So you kind of reach out, rings in your head a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome home.
I know. She had already said that before.
Yeah. Isn't it beautiful?
No. No, it's not.
The lift stops
Yeah.
at another open area. Not as open as the top area.
Yep.
This seems to be a series of very, very insectoid-like catacombs, like a beehive, where in this part of the station, the deeper down you get, the less of what the machine that it was built upon is familiar, and the more of an insect hive it begins to look. But down here, you actually do see that there are beings walking around.
Okay.
Not many, just a couple, and they don't seem to really be paying you any mind at this point. But these are people.
Humans.
Some are human.
Okay.
Some are Benestarian. You see a couple of Yukons walking around.
Okay.
But there seems to be just people. Whoever was collected up by the matriarch, whatever she's working on. And before I continue, I'm going to need both yourself and Laurel to take a willpower die and some kind of mental discipline skill.
Okay.
And whatever else you can think of, and you are going to roll again. So we're going to roll something here, or you're technically you'd be rolling the defense, but I'm going to roll one flat thing. You're trying to resist. This is the equivalent of a sanity check.
Yeah.
Is what this is basically going to be. So I'm going to set a basic difficulty as to how. Actually, you know what it is?
Do you mind if I use my friend's distinction? Because I'm here protecting Clip.
Absolutely. I'm just going to say it's challenging. This is an 11d8 environment of how kind of grotesque this is. Before I continue describing, please roll.
There's 1-1.
You rolled a 1?
I did roll a 1, but otherwise it is a 14d8.
I'm going to use your 1. Doesn't matter. Okay.
I have a 15d8.
Okay. You both keep your wits about you. I won't describe it too in detail. Very similar to Call of Cthulhu. You rationalize a lot of what you're going to see. But what you are able to make out is that there are some people that seem to be asleep against the wall, and some that just seem to be randomly roaming about, and they come into contact with things on the wall reacts, and then they go back and walk into their pods and go to sleep again. No one seems to be moving anything that you can really understand the tangibility of. But here you are. With the roll that you had made earlier, though, that was just to see if you get out of these checks unscathed, that you kind of try to use your mind to kind of guide your way towards the matriarch. You're getting a sense that she is deeper in the station.
Okay.
Towards the base of the station.
Okay.
And a welcoming invite. Do you continue?
Yeah, kind of have to. We're going to continue slowly. And no, can I still make a roll or no? My roll's already done.
It depends what it is. What do you want to do?
I just want to see if I have the ability to break whatever, quote unquote, it's not really a spell, but whatever, on one of these individuals. To see if they have an idea of what has happened or what's going on or what they've witnessed.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Real quick, before we do though,
Okay.
are you doing anything, Laurel, or are you just kind of hanging tight in case something happens?
I'm hanging tight. I've got my warhammer ready, and I'm just kind of keeping turned a bit so that I can see Cliptic out of the corner of my eye, but I can watch the room to make sure no one comes at us.
Okay. You're going to put that D4 in there too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me just find a D4. Hold on. Yep, that one.
All right.
Hold on. Ah, okay.
Set in difficulty.
Oh, sorry.
I'll let you know what you're
I'm
going to
making.
You're so giddy, so anxious. 14 D10.
Okay. I have A1. So that means that my complication goes up.
The headache
right?
goes back up to a D6. Now, it's still under the purview of what Flinch did earlier, so it's still not... I'm not adding it to any checks still.
Okay.
Unless it gets higher than a D6, that calming presence that Flinch gave you will still count.
Okay. Well, I have a 16d8.
Ooh. So you succeeded the check, but you had a lower effect die.
Yes.
Great. Oh, here's how this is going to work. Succeeding checks just means you do exactly what you wanted to do. It doesn't mean that a beneficial outcome happens. Do we understand the distinction here? So you break the mental hold that the Matriarch has over one of these drones walking around. So you grab any person.
Sure, yeah.
Just grab the nearest person, just kind of walking to a wall, and you do whatever you do to break their connection. And as the glazed over look disappears and their look comes back to their eyes, they just start screaming.
Oh, great.
Wildly. Your headache is going to shoot up to a D8 because of the lower effect die. You didn't roll for this because it was you breaking it. Yeah, and in your attempt to do this, it shatters it damages whatever calm you've got there, and it does get past the calming presence, because that was only for the D6 complication. And now your head starts to twing a bit as they just start screaming, and they are not cognizant. But you broke their hold.
All right.
No one else seems to react at all.
Yeah, but I have a screaming person in my hands right now.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure what to do here.
In which case,
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch him in the head.
I was waiting.
I mean, if I was there, that would be my suggestion.
Sure. Yeah,
Laurel.
absolutely.
Laurel stunned the situation.
Let me give you a difficulty here. It's an 11d6.
That is 14d10.
Kill
As they start screaming, they just and like the screaming is not about anything specific. They seem to be looking at the place that they're around in confusion as to what's going on. There are parts of their body that have been added onto, have been grafted, altered. They're not fully the way they were when they got here. At least you could assume that, judging by their reactions as they seem to be looking at this place they know nothing about. And as they start absolutely beginning to start ripping the parts that were added on off, Laurel just bonk off the head with the top of the blunt end. Well, I guess it's all a blunt end, but not the I'm going to kill you end of intent of the Warhammer. Bonk. Ugh. And they just slump into the ground, and the wall welcomes them back in like a hug.
That is deeply unsettling.
I'm just probably sitting there just like this, and I'm.
That's not right. Right at all.
No, it's not right. I'm more angry, which is not helping the headache situation.
Probably not. No.
And I'm just gonna say we're just gonna continue on. We're just gonna continue on, and I'm gonna kill that bitch, and we're going to continue on. I'm mad.
Yep.
Yeah.
With you.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Is there anything else you're looking for while you're going? Just as a passive thing for me to ask.
You said that there is just only there's just this hallway type of thing heading in one direction.
You've got you have a guiding. There is a guide in your mind as to where to go to find her.
Oh, okay. There's no working computer desks or...
Okay, so you will be looking for other things. That's the only question I'm asking quick before I go on to another group. Basically, it's like if you're not looking for anything...
No, I'm going to look for something.
You're going to look for stuff? Okay, keep in mind what you want to look for, and then I'll come back and then I'll make sure not to skip that for you.
Okay.
That's all I was kind of getting at. All right, back to you three in the vents. What are you three looking for? As the tone dramatically shifts to bum ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. As you're going on through, it's like you're going through the inside of like an earthworm. It is kind of like that's so disgusting, as if some kind of something is pulsing. Generally speaking, sort of a few pokey bits. It does kind of give way to the poke.
But is it gooey?
Oh, it's gooey.
Ugh.
Not great.
Listen, my racial says, why is it slimy? So I can give it a run for its money if it wants.
If you took your suit off, sure.
Not yet, no.
We need to find something that will disable a connection.
Yeah, look what figure out what's running this place.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a hatchway to go into an engineering section.
What runs
Just check some hatchways till I hit an engineering section, and then I can go in, find a map, Maybe we can try to track down where that clue is and fuck some shit up.
See, well, the gravity, something, yeah.
Okay.
It's a giant earthworm.
So you're specifically looking for some kind of some kind of controlling essence of this. Either it leads to a map or some kind of engineering or something, some kind of power source that something would go to. So what I'll need you to do for that is you're going to take your mechanics or whatever skill that you think is relevant in that, your alertness die.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
And then anything else you can find relevant. I'm just going to say, normally this would be a 76, but due to the organic nature of things, I'm going to make it an 11d8. It's just a little more tougher than usual.
Yes, that makes sense. And what do I have here? Sorry. Just want to make sure. There it is. Oh, no, that's it. Yeah, that's what I got. Okay. Okay. I'm going to spend a plot point.
That's fair. Got enough of them.
That was 11d8 to give myself a 13d8.
Ooh,
Yes, 13.
Nice.
not bad.
It's gross and organic, but it's built on top of something, and you are familiar with how these things work. You get an idea that you can kind of follow this to something that will provide you. So you can make it. You've got a choice here, one that is pretty certain will lead you to a power source of sorts, and not as confident of a direction as to where you can get information. Where would you like to go?
Yeah, so there's a... I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you guys are right.
So I got an idea of where a potential strong power source is. But on the other hand, I have a semi to good idea of where we can get more information. So what's more important to us, Diantha? Because I'm sort of focusing in on Diantha being... Because Flint's always pushed against it. But he seems in these moments to be like...
She said your idea was cool.
If a power, we need to know what to do with a power source if we run into one. So maybe information is better to go to first.
Greg?
Wherever is fine. I'm just gonna do my own thing. With you. Yeah.
So you're doing your own thing, but together.
Yes.
Very helpful.
I tried to be.
Well, maybe we could do both. Maybe we should split up even further. How about we, I'm just going to log down that there's the sort of path that we need if we have time to get the information. How important is this information about your buddy Kaz or whoever it is?
I was more concerned about, if information about how the power source works.
Oh, it's easier just to go to the power source.
Or information about Bug Lady.
If Cliptic is recording whatever they're doing, then that will be plenty of information, I'm sure.
Plus, this power source could give us a lot of information because this seems to be organic and inorganic. So the power source should be interesting.
Let's go there.
Because, let's head toward the power source then.
Okay, cool. You guys go on down. Not even gonna get any. You by going the certain route, you feel like you may have dodged something that could have gotten in the way. And you head on down towards where the vents begin to kind of more frequently tie into each other, showing that you are getting towards a series of conjunction points of something larger. Eventually you do, with the way that this goes, and you rolled a very good roll earlier.
Oh, we're just trying, can I just, put a little knife while we're going into the fleshy whatever, just to see if it bleeds?
See, Greg thought about doing the same thing, but he was going to wait until we were outside of the earthworm.
Just a little one.
But because I don't want it to do this.
Okay, we can wait.
Good
Up to you guys.
Up to you. Can you do it?
But if I know, I can say that I try to keep her from doing it if I notice she's going to do it. But otherwise, you could do it.
Well, let's RP this.
Technically in front of me.
Diantha takes up the knife, goes to do it. Greg?
What?
Okay, I want to do that, but not yet.
Fine.
Have you ever stabbed something that's a tube? A living tube?
No. Have you?
And Greg just stops. And
Just stop and is sort of listening.
He puts his hands like this, so that he's looking at Diantha between his hands and goes,
Squeezes.
What have you stabbed?
You're sphinctering your hands.
Stabbed me once.
Just wait until we're like out of the sphincter.
And then I'll start moving again.
Please, let's not stab the orgy of living pipes we're crawling through.
See, I was just excited about getting Greg to say the word sphincter, and then you said orgy, so well done.
It's a great idea, though.
But it is a good idea.
What have I done?
Great idea.
What have I done?
Yeah. This is... Ugh.
Great.
How are you the voice of reason?
The what?
Being in that cube changed you.
Being in the what?
Let's keep going.
Moving on.
Eventually, you get to an opening where you are actually overlooking what seems to be a fairly large area. And you can tell right away, due to two very, very prominent factors, as to why this seems to be a very heavily prominent energy source. One, the wave of heat coming from this opening that comes on through, even through your suits, you can tell there is a significant temperature difference. And two, the sound. There is a mixture of what you would traditionally recall to be the sounds of an engine room. But the rhythmicness of it and the less of a metallic ring to it is rather unsettling. More like if you were maybe doing surgery. It's hard to tell.
Well, I've got skill for that.
Right, that's weird.
Yeah. Oh, this seems like an important, hot, sweaty place.
The thing is, I think insects are mostly exoskeletons. So why is it so soft?
They still need to fuck, Diantha.
What?
That's all. It's like, this is all a living thing, so they're gonna be squishy and stuff on the inside. The outside, the carrier bays are all the thing, but I mean, they're fleshy on the inside. They're just not hard all over. You know what I mean? So they still have the little, the fleshy stuff.
I'm so sorry for when you have to edit this.
This is great.
Well, you know what I mean?
This is great.
I mean, how could I not say stuff like that? We just came through an orgy of pipes and you're talking about this. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I love this. Yay! Over in the corner with
I'm only a man!
Flinch.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's just really hot here, okay? My tinfoil hat is somewhat helping, although it seems like it's baking me more.
It's not great.
Get out of the tube. Get out.
I apologize. You know what I mean? There's, it's...
And Greg just looks at Diantha and is like,
No, he's normally not like this. Actually, he's usually much worse.
I just mean, it's fine. It's just gonna be soft.
Can you stop talking about reproduction?
I'm talking about the softness of the inside. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Save it for the bunk. Get down.
I'm just saying.
Y'all ever seen Boondock Saints? Cool.
Yeah.
What is each of your strength ratings?
6.
A 4. So I have some strength.
Yeah.
Technically.
6.
6, 6, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, that's all.
Laurel, can you roll me 2 6s and a 4, please?
Oh, you mean we can't just slide down this like a fleshy fun slide?
oh
Oh,
god.
my
There were
God.
2 1s and a 6.
Oh,
Why
why
did you have
roll for us?
For exactly that reason.
So sorry.
1 and a 6?
2 1s and 6, so 64.
64 sounds good.
As you three are kind of wow, you're scrapping, you were near this opening vent. Here's the thing. The vent's not actually sealed or closed. It's an open part where the vent kind of just empties, whatever the content of this vent would be, kind of empties into a chamber. And as you're kind of above there, you kind of doing a bit of scrapping. Like I said, for those who've seen Boondock Saints, there is a bit of slight tearing that's happening as you're pretty close to the opening of the vent. And at the last minute, we finally realized, wait. What's that sound? The vent beneath you opens, and you are all three dropped into the center of this chamber.
We're currently the contents of the vent.
And you were all three just dropped, no damage, bang, 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 into kind of along the. You're not above the center of this room. You're off to the side, so you do get caught by the curvature of the the wall and rolled into the center of the chamber, into the ground of the chamber. And as you do kind of look up and see where you are at, this was the engine room of one of the vessels, if not the main chamber that was constructed to be the station here. Lots of pistons spinning and rotating around. That seems to be, you'd be familiar with this, Flinch, what produces the gravity generator that keeps the space from being crushed by the gravitational pull of the planet. As well as a number of other factors. Basically, the control of the station is here. And so are all of the hive, crawling over every inch of this station. And you see that there are other pipes, similar to the ones that you have just entered through, where other small drone hives seem to be crawling out, and that's how they seem to get around to the ship.
This seems like a good place for you to stab things now.
There's too many.
I don't mean them. I mean,
So, did we fall into this room where all the hive are?
Yep.
Great.
Is there anything fleshy left that we could stab as a test? Or is every surface covered by a crawling bug?
Stay completely still
Yes.
and just see if they take any notice of or give any care at all that we're here, or if they're just.
We just got dumped into the middle of the chamber.
Which is why if they don't react,
they're gonna care immediately, and there's gonna be nothing we can do about it.
Well, there's nothing we can do about it now. So.
No.
I'm thinking that I'm going to predator this shit. And I'm going to immediately start putting goo all over myself. Because there's guaranteed, I'm sorry, there's guaranteed to be goo. I'm just saying, and I'm just like...
Is the floor fleshy?
No, not fully. I mean, yes, but no.
But I think...
There's a metal base.
Let's
It's
see
like
if they
goo on
notice.
top?
Yeah.
With the walls, are they fleshy like the inside of the tube?
Not as much. The walls seem to feel like ribbing, like a bone, as you came on down.
Okay.
It's like a harder resin. You monster! Like a hardened resin.
Sorry.
Cool.
When you
Nah.
said that, all I could think of was the moment Dirk was just like,
Oh, God.
fine.
Okay.
That's jerking.
Anyway.
No, let's stay on point.
The ribbing is what people do with all the bad jokes.
All right.
No,
Well,
there's no sale salvaging this.
I mean,
What have I done?
have they? Have they noticed anything yet? Because if they're going to, it's going to happen like right now.
So first things first. As you land, you realize that you look around. They seem to notice that something has happened, but whatever they've been tasked to do, you haven't done anything that has deviated them from their tasks yet. Thank you for listening to Spacers. Our next episode of Spacers will air Tuesday, February 25th. Our next episode of The Call, our Call of Cthulhu podcast, will be Tuesday, February 18th. Both shows air at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on YouTube with live chat with some of the cast while being released on all audio services 1 hour later. As usual, we want to thank all of our donators over on Ko-fi, including Noah, Ed, Lore, Rosa, Tyler, The Weejay, James, Matt, Calgill, Blizzard Warning, Sydney, Baba Yaga, Preston, TJ, Alec, No Demons Allowed, Autumn, Roland Arts, and Chris H. Your players for tonight were Bailey Yarkey, Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, and Derek Snow. Your GM was Zach Barrett. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.